Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to look at the new Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder palette that's right here in my hands. Kind of funny, but unintentional. My video yesterday, which I will link below, was actually on the Goss contour and bronzing palette. I did not put them in the same video purposefully, and we'll talk about why and we will compare them, but I really want to give the most time today to the Patrick Ta product, okay? So let's start by talking about that and then we'll get into any comparisons you might probably like to hear about or see, okay? The Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder is $38. It's a duo. I got mine in the shade She's Sculpted. There are two other shades, a lighter shade, which I will put a photo up of, and a darker, much darker shade. And I, being the light medium person that I am, just like with the Goss product, I went with the medium She's Sculpted shade. As we have with other Patrick Ta cream and powder duos, we get the little plastic flap over the top that keeps the powder from getting into your cream and the cream into your powder, chocolate and peanut butter, if you remember the old Reese's commercials, right? Okay, so you don't have to worry about any of that. The contour shade is this cooler shade, and it is a cream product in Patrick Ta's duo. And then the warmer bronzer shade is a little bit of a sunnier, warmer product, which I will swatch in a moment. But I'll let you know that you are supposedly supposed to put on the contour first with a stamping motion. And I picked up his brush, which I left across the room. Give me a moment and I'll be back. Okay, Patrick Ta is selling a contour brush as well for the contour portion, though I suppose you could use it on the bronzer. I did not, but the contour brush is $35, almost as much as the $38 palette. Why did I pick it up? I was really curious. I do not mind having a brush for a specific function. That just doesn't bother me one bit. I really like that this was synthetic so that it's really good with cream products, although I certainly could use my undyed goat hair for that as well, but I liked the thickness of it and the sturdiness of it to use as a stamping motion when I put on the contour, and I have been very pleased with it. You will see me use it today in the demo. So that is $35, and this palette here is $38 in 3 colorways like we discussed. Okay, so we are going to stamp in this cooler and then kind of go over and slightly above it with this brighter, warmer bronze. And together they make a very pulled together look. Please remember that you can also, depending on how much of a no makeup look you're going with, you can even use this as a blush. And I really, really encourage you, though I did not do it today, I encourage you to try the contour and bronzer as an eye look as well, especially if you have a hooded eye. The deeper, darker, cooler matte contour will make that area recede if you use it in the crease and is really, really pretty. So it makes a kind of a whole pulled together look. Today I'm wearing my chocolate Huda palette on the eyes, but I certainly could have done that, and I will in other videos to let you see. Okay, now a lot of people are going to want to compare this to Goss's contour products that just came out a few days before the Patrick Ta release. I think they're actually very different products, and though I think they're for contouring and bronzing, this is a discussion we can easily fall into. On one side of the argument, some of you will say, I'm never going to contour and bronze enough to need both. The other side of the argument would tell you that this is what's coming now, and you just might. Just like you have many blushers to choose from and certainly many lipsticks, you might want to have a few contours on hand. Sounds crazy because so many of you are thinking of contour from seasons ago when it was extremely dark and you really had to blend it in. These new contours that we're seeing now are much gentler, much more subtle, and much less fear-inducing for the timid. Take my word for it. Okay, let's do some swatches and I will compare to Goss. So as you know here, we have a cream product that is going to be much, much, much cooler. I think I picked a good one for my skin tone, and there it is there. That is very, very deep, and I didn't stamp it on that deeply. And then underneath it, we have a much, much warmer, I'll do that twice for you to see, much, much warmer bronzer shade, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Also matte, because it is a contour palette that way. Now, if you would like, I will compare this, since I got medium in the Wayne Goss product as well, and both of these products have 3 colorways, I thought I would show you the medium in Wayne's product as well. Now, Wayne's product is both powder, and therefore has kind of a different look. Here is Wayne's contouring shade, so you can see that right here, and his is a little bit grayer. That was not the best of swatches, I apologize. There we go. And here is Wayne's bronzer shade, hopefully a better swatch. So let me get you right up there. So our first 2 here, Patrick Ta Contour Bronzing, and then Wayne Goss Contour Bronzing. Similar but different. Both palettes, however, adhere to this kind of new fun thing we're seeing, which is contour and bronzing gently rather than harshly. So you don't have to look like you're a 90s supermodel or Zoolander, right? You can look much more natural and much more pulled together, which is the idea of these new products. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna try to convince you to pick up contouring again by demonstrating on my face the difference. You are seeing it now contoured. I left some room for a Patrick Ta cream and powder blush, because when Patrick Ta himself, this is She's So LA in his cream and powder brush duo, when Patrick Ta himself does it, he kind of contours under the cheekbones, bronzes a little bit on top of that, a little bit, and then leaves some room on the cheeks for the blush. So I copied him in my application technique, and I do one side only in this demo so that you can kind of see the difference, and I think that you will approve. I hope so. So let's get right into that. Okay, so we have a lot to do on the cheeks here. We want to sculpt and bronze and add some blush, and I have all Patrick Ta products to do that with. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, and we're gonna experiment with his brush, which does, I'm sorry, appear a tad bit dirty, because I think I explained earlier I have been playing with it a little bit. We are going to start with the contour. Now, we don't want to have this kind of crazy dramatic contour, and Patrick Ta's contour is cream, which is kind of fun. So we want to use a stamping motion to apply this underneath the cheekbones. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put it on the jawline as well, and maybe even a little bit up top, and then we'll bronze over it to kind of warm it up. So there is this little flap over it. First thing I have to do, I have to get it on the brush, and then I'm going to make a silly face and suck in to find my cheekbones on my chubby little face. Right here, can't talk when I do it. Whatever will I do if I can't talk? But you know what I'm doing. So I'm going to now stamp from about the hairline there down underneath my cheek, and for me that's a little hard to find, so I have to make a funny face. Bear with me. And now that I've done that, you can see the little line there. I'm going to blend a little bit. And I can go more dramatic. I kind of just don't really want it to be that dramatic. I'm going to do one side of my face and let you see the difference. So we'll continue on with this side, making the jaw a little more pronounced than it is, which is currently not at all. And then a little bit up here too. So you should be able, hopefully, to see a difference. Now I'm going to switch brushes to my trusty Sonia G brush here that I use for all of my bronzing, and now I'm going to go into the powder product to warm up the contouring we just did. Because remember, the contour has a cooler feel to it. Why don't you just go in with the, well, we're going to go a little bit over it, but we're going to leave room up here for the blush to sit, okay? So again, here is where I made my line. I'm going to go just above it with the bronzer, just above that, and I'm going to go knock some of the product off this and just kind of get it into the hairline. So remember, I'm doing one area of the face here, so we have nothing, and then we have contoured and bronzed. And now I left a little room for my blush, okay? which we are going to use Patrick Ta She's So LA, which is this combination powder and cream blush. And on this one, he does the cream first. I know, how do we remember it all? So I'm using undyed goat's hair, which works well with cream or powder products. And I'm just going to kind of smile with my mouth closed, which is what Patrick Ta does. That's his method to find where I should place the blush. And then let's go over it with the powder. Okay, so now this should really be quite telling. I'll kind of get my hair out of the way here. We now have one side of my face, this side, I hope you can tell, that is kind of sculpted, bronzed, and blushed. And this side of my face with absolutely nothing, but maybe a little bit of highlighter. And I don't know about you, I feel that this side looks so much better. I really do. All right, let me come back with both sides done. Okay, now we have both sides of the face done. And if you are going to say to me, okay, Rebecca, I see the blush, but I really don't see any obvious contouring, I'm good with that. I don't want that really obvious heavy dark line that you're blending out for the life of you. The idea is to have it be a little bit natural and pretty, kind of leaning into the bronzing rather than the very harsh contouring that we saw so many seasons ago, that so many of you think of when you see this. Kind of like the eyebrow products that we've had of late are definitely filling in our brows, but are not so harsh and drawn on and artistic as they were a few seasons ago. So the brows are calming down and the contour on the cheeks really seems to be calming down as well. So if you find this subtle, you could certainly go darker with yours by choosing a darker shade or using it more heavily. But as far as I'm concerned, that light, subtle application is exactly what I'm aiming for, and I think really warms up and does give a bit more depth to my face. But I would certainly like to know what you think, and if you are going to purchase this product, if you purchase Wayne's product, and what you're thinking about the new contour. Are you going to pick it up again? Had you given it up? Are you going to try it again? I need to know all of these things from you, Princesses. So please let me know and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, which I hope you did. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.